Hello, Omkar. Good afternoon. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking the time out to do this.
I'm
I
sure it's
know
my
you're
pleasure.
very busy, but thank you so
Yeah,
much for taking this time out to share your journey and your experience with
yeah,
others who might find it helpful.
yeah. Sure, happy to help.
Thank you
Thank
so much. So let's just start
you.
with you telling us a little bit about yourself, your background, your basic profile.
Okay. So I'm a mechanical engineer and I have 7 years of work experience in oil and gas industry. After graduating from college, I immediately started working at Bharat Petroleum Corporation as an engineering officer. So there I used to manage the team of 22 in my like last year. And I was in charge of constructing all the retail outlets, or as we call in regular language, petrol stations in my area. So in my last posting, I look after 8 districts of Vidarbha region. So yeah, it was uh, a very good experience. And like right after my graduation from college, I was working into management sector. So I wanted to improve in this field. So yeah, I thought that after working for 7 years, MBA was the right choice for me to advance my career further. So yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. Yeah, as you said, that makes sense. You've had significant experience in your field. So now, as you want to grow further, it is the
Right.
logical next step. So when you were starting to apply or when you had decided to apply for MBA, what were some challenges or some hurdles or basically, let's say, some concerns that you had while applying, and how did that scheme help you?
Yeah. So like growing up in Indian education system, we know that everything is merit based. You pass an exam if uh, you have good grades, then accordingly, based on your merit, you are selected into any program, any school, any college. So that is the thing we are used to. But for applying to these sorts of programs, it's a completely different game. Just scoring high GRE, GMAT score does not get you in the college. And obviously, they have their restrictions, they have their preferences of the candidate they want. And one feedback that I realized I got during my application process was very late, that they uh, generally avoid students with too much of government work experience. So that was a negative point for me, which I realized after looking for 7 years. Yeah, so those things are very different. And then I thought that, yeah, I should get some help. So I contacted Lilac Bits. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
great.
before
So
con- uh, uh, before like enrolling with you, I did apply for many schools on my own. And yeah, throughout the applications, not all colleges give you feedback, but yeah, after contacting off the records personally with many of the adcoms, I got this feedback that yeah, this sort of work experience is generally not preferred for these MBA programs. So yeah, that was a shock.
yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, but glad that we were able to help you.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so if you can tell a little bit about what programs did you apply to and what is the final outcome where you're going?
Okay, so I applied to ESSEC in France, HEC in France. Then I applied to IE in Spain. I was also in the process of applying to MS and a few colleges in Germany, WHU, ESMT, Frankfurt, etc. So in my first stage, I completed the application for ESSEC, HEC, and IE. I also was shortlisted for interview for ESSEC, for HSC, obviously the same reason. I think so. I was not called for interview round, and yeah, in IE also I had a really great interview, and yeah, after the interview, yeah, I was not selected for ESSEC, but yeah, the program in the IE was one that I was really interested in because they were offering a dual degree only in 19 months, or MBA and Masters in Computer Science and Business Technology. So after the interview, within a week, I got mail from IE that I was selected. So yeah, I just dropped out of the race from the other colleges because I thought this program was much better than any other college. So yeah, that's good.
Oh, great. That's a good strategy. Like once you
Yeah,
get into program you really like, I don't think
yeah,
there is a point applying
right,
to more schools, right? So how did you
right.
feel when you got that admit, like from the school that you really wanted to go to?
Actually, yeah, before I got this this mail from their admission letter, I got rejections from SEC and HSC. So yeah, I was very stressed. I was done with all the interviews. So I was in the process of completing my application for NUS. I remember I was up all night thinking about my essays and SOPs. I was working on them, and yeah, I was very stressed. As I was about to go to sleep in the morning around 6 a.m., I got the mail from IE. I was selected as the success. It was a very joyous moment.
And at that
So
moment,
I remember that in every morning I had this routine. I just take a cup of coffee and go watch sunrise on my balcony. Yeah, but this time I didn't sleep the whole night, and as I was about to make the coffee, I got the mail. So that moment, that particular sunrise will be was a is something that I will never forget.
yeah, that would you would always remember that sunrise. And I'm sure that was the moment when you realized that I don't need any more of this. I'm just not going to apply to other schools at this point.
Yeah. I didn't make any decision right then and there because obviously I was initially very keen to going for German universities because they are more affordable compared to
Hmm.
Spain. But then I figured out that I could work out the finances. So yeah, after that I dropped out of the.
Great. It's nice that it all worked out. So I'm
Yes.
sure that while you were deciding to enroll with a consultant, I'm sure you looked into other
Yeah.
resources and available consultants, right? So what would you say was the primary reason that you decided to go with Lilac Birds and not someone else?
Like first of all, like your services were okay. Before that, like one reason was like the response from your sales team or support team was good. Before I was deciding to, before I decided which consulting firm to go to, uh, I was in, I think, contact with Vashi from your team. And yeah, her response was very good. And she was able to help me get clear any doubts that I had better than any other consultants. Most of the other consultants that I approached, all the communication was through the mail just, and I was not getting timely responses. So yeah, I was able to contact you directly on call. So yeah, that was a plus point. Obviously, your prices are more affordable compared to the other. That was also another plus point. Yes.
Thank you. That's what how we like to do things. Definitely, that we want that everyone who approaches us gets that
Mm.
kind of personalized attention, right? Rather
Yeah.
than just speaking to an email.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that was something
that's
that I really appreciated.
yeah, that's great. And so, who was your mentor, and how was your experience working with them throughout the process? And
Okay.
how did
So
your
my
mentor help you shape the final essays and your profile, the story that you wanted to convey?
my mentor was Utkarsh, and yeah, he was very helpful. Like for almost a month and a half, we were in constant communication. We used to uh, talk through mail or call or through your meetings, Lilac Book platform of
Yeah,
meeting, yeah, constantly. Yes, since I had applied to the many colleges last year, I had a skeleton ready to go. But despite that fact, he gave me a very good and detailed feedback, and I was able to my original SOPs and essays much better. And like yeah, after uh, finishing the final draft of IE and SAP, we were very confident that we would get an admission interview call at least, and that what happened. We were not so sure about HSC, and yeah, so that was okay. We were also working together on two other colleges, but then we just undropped that. Throughout the like we also had a few disagreements regarding the matter or the contact or writing styles. And yeah, like my first boss in my company always used to say that whenever there are disagreements or even arguments, it means that the result is going to be good. So many minds are focused at uh, you
Wise
care
man.
about your project much that you are fighting for it. So at the moment, yeah, like I was a little bit angry. I'm sure he must be more frustrated than I was. But after some time, yeah, I was like, yeah, I know. If there are going to be disagreements, then he is also investing as much as I am investing in it. So yes, I really appreciated that fact.
Yeah, I got to know. I mean, your boss was a wise man. Well said that. Like where there are disagreement, it means that the output is going to be a good one.
Yeah, because everyone is invested in the in the project.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
And as you mentioned that like all the meetings and everything that was conducted through a portal, right? So how did you find the portal, the ease of use, the process, sharing documentation
It was
regarding
very
that?
user friendly. It was very user friendly. I could find like your interview training portal. It was also uh, yeah good. Yes, it was very easy to use the portal. Nothing so complicated. Yeah.
Nice. And if you could think of a special moment or something that really stood out to you while working with your mentor, with us on your applications, what would it be, you'd say?
Yeah, I just shared the fact about the disagreement thing.
Okay,
I
so
know,
that,
like he had I was
yeah,
sure at that time Trump, he lives in US, I think, and at that time there was the huge crisis of H-1B visa going on.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure he was under a lot of stress at that time, and in that time, first of all, I was very concerned. Like, should I bother this guy at this time right now? Should I just ask someone else because I'm sure he must be stressed very well. But these applications are also very important for me because this is if not,
clearly,
I will waste another year. So yeah, and then. He just called me. I think he sent this thing, and he said, "Bro, you just feel free to talk. If you have any doubt, I can understand that. I am also stressed, but this your essays or your SOPs will not be compromised even a little bit because of my stress." So yeah, that was also a very good moment.
nice. So glad to know that you had a good experience, right?
Yeah.
Because that's important. That's why you're here sharing your experience with us.
Mm.
So
Yes.
besides your regular like the essay editing, interview prep, what do you think was like another good like intangible support that you received from our team? Something that made you realize, oh, it was a good decision that I decided to go with them. Because like all of everyone can provide you the support in terms of like essays and documentation, right?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, frankly speaking, those are the things that matter because
Yeah.
that those are the things that got me into the college, and I was expecting only those results from your team. But apart from that, yeah, like you did help me out by connecting with some agents about for looking for accommodation or also loans. But I prefer to go look for that on my own because I already had some contacts in those sectors. So yeah, so nothing that stands out.
Okay. Great. So Now, if you were to share some advice with other future applicants, like some words of wisdom that you had acquired through your journey of applying, like what would it
Mhm.
be?
Uh, One thing is that I would really suggest to reach out the admission committee of the colleges that you want to apply. They are very friendly, and if you go to the college website, you can find their link and you can book a meeting through that platform there that itself, and you can get a idea of feedback what they are looking for. Like in my 7 years, I was working. Like I wasted 1 or 2 years because my GMAT score was not so good. But like when I reached out to the adcom, they said, "Hey, your GMAT score what you have right now is very good for this program. If you get a better GMAT score, that will not improve your chances of getting admission. It might improve your chances of getting a higher scholarship. But this GMAT score is really okay. And from after this, what will make you stand out is your SOP's application and your interview. So that is one thing that feedback helped me because I was again planning to go for GMAT again to improve my score. But since I got the feedback that this GMAT score is really good, so yeah, as I said, that was one thing that really helped me out. And you should also reach out to many students who are already studying there. That is also like very helpful. They can give a lot of insights to you. And yeah, I remember I almost spoke to at least 40, 50 students who are in different programs to get their perspectives. How did they approach their essays, SOPs? Did they, what were they trying to showcase? What is the outcome looking for? After listening to them and trying to understand their perspectives, how did they approach their application process, then I was able to like frame my essays and SOPs much better. Initially I was just trying to show off in my essays and SOPs, which obviously is the dumbest thing you can do. But after talking to them, I realized that uh, I changed the approach. I started telling them the story of my life, which was a much better essay than what I had thought of without any guidance or without just on my own. So yeah.
Well, that's actually good advice. Humility is important when it comes to
Yes.
portraying your story. It's very important. Yeah, you're right. So, yeah, I hope you had, as you told, you had a great experience with us. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. And we wish you all the best from the Lilac Buds team, and we hope that you do great things and later also.
Yeah, thank you so much. Happy to help. Yeah, bye.